Should the gimmick pass to the next generation eventually? First there was Buddy, then Rick. Is there anyone currently working in wrestling who could fill those shoes? I know in storyline you tried to, put a robe on AJ Styles and all that in TNA, but for real, if you were going to say, all right, this is the modern Nature Boy, and somebody's going to borrow the robes and borrow the strut and carry on the Nature Boy thing, who would that be? Is there somebody out there who you could see pulling that off?
Well, Rogers and I were two different people. Rogers was just really, kind of kept to himself, had his own group of people, very arrogant. I mean, I think I've been arrogant at times, but I don't know if anybody will ever be as crazy as me. And to be the Nature Boy, I mean, to create, I mean, my documentary pretty much said it all. It was crazy. It was a crazy lifestyle, but I loved it. I mean, I wasn't crazy about some of the places I had to wrestle, and wrestling an hour in front of 100 people wasn't fun for me, but 99% of what I did, I loved doing. And I think it helped explain the parts that I hate myself for, or miss or involvement with my kids and that. You know what I mean? Missing the kids and stuff like that. But other than that, I don't know if there's anybody crazy enough that wants to be. I mean, I was just out there. If you look at it, if you look at my body of work and the stuff that I did from, from just regular wrestling, they've been putting in that house, and I mean, name it. I've been buried in the desert. I
Right.
mean, who wants to endure all that? I saw where Arn said something about um the about hard to be my friend. And my response, I wanted to respond, and I think I told you it was. I had, like, Jim Hurd disliked me or anything about me,
Right.
so he disliked Arn. He disliked Tully. He didn't like anything about any of us, and that rolled over to Eric too. Now I don't know what happened between he and Bill Watts. I don't think he was happy working for Bill either. But with Eric and Jim Hurd, they just well, history, you can look at it. They just didn't like me, and probably I put them in a position. I certainly, people know why I left, um, and I'm certainly was aware that I left. But he was such an established commodity, and he was so good at what he did, as was Tully. The story of their breakup is not my business. You know the story. They know it. But I had to leave to save myself. Um, but it left them, and but I didn't mean to leave them unprotected. But man, I was ducking and dodging myself. Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah.
I didn't see the quote that you're saying where Arn said it was difficult to be your friend in WCW, but it also probably paid dividends. I mean, I think when the
Oh
whole
yeah. I'm not saying it didn't. I mean, I quit one time with Jimmy and Jimmy Crockett when those guys refused to go to Raleigh. I said, hey, they're not going. I'm not going. And that's a big step when you're the world champion. That's
right,
rolling the dice. They could have said, "Screw you, Rick," right?
right,
And I don't know what the resolve was, but it all basically started when they signed Luger to that huge contract. The guy had just coming on board, unproven, and getting that huge contract. I just threw everything out of whack. And then the Road Warriors got a big contract, and then I wanted one, and it snowballed. You know what I mean?